Cooking in Falmouth is made possible in part by the following. Appliances donated by Crane Appliance. Kitchen installation donated by M. Duffney Builders. Specialty Studio Electric and Gallery installation donated by David Rogers Electric. Kitchenware donated by Eastman's Hardware.
Welcome to Falmouth is Cooking. We are here in this beautiful new kitchen, which I'm not going to be able to say is new too much longer, I think. But we are at Falmouth Community Television for our monthly taping of Falmouth is Cooking. And each month, we try to have a different person featured, professional and home cooks. I think we're going to be going with some professionals for a while, so we certainly have someone with a lot of expertise. We have Bob Jarvis here today, who is probably spent more time in the food industry than a lot of us would believe, considering the fact that you told me you grew up in the kitchen at the Chart House, which is
Chart room, yes,
Chart room.
absolutely.
Sorry, a good place to grow up, if you want to be a chef. Bob now owns the Quarter Deck, which I think you said in '02 is when you purchased that.
Correct.
Yes,
yep.
and then you moved on to the Pilot House and bought that, which is a summer restaurant located on the Canal in Sandwich.
Correct.
And then we have Bucatino's, which you've had for a couple of years now, just about, I
Yes.
guess. Huh? Okay.
Yep.
So what we did when we talked about having the chef here and the owner to do some cooking for us and show us how he makes all these delicious things in his restaurants, we talked about pulling a recipe from each restaurant.
Absolutely.
And that's what we did. So we have a beautiful mise en place set up here, something for Clams Casino, which will be from the Quarter Deck. And the other recipe that we're making is the Haddock Chowder, and that's from Pilot House.
Right.
And then finally we're going to finish it up with, help me, Arrabiata.
Arrabiata.
Oh, yeah, Arrabiata.
There you go.
Almost, not as good as
Oh,
you. Did you spend time in Italy? You learned that on the floor in the chart room.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which is going to be a pasta sauce. And if we have time at the very end, because great minds think alike, and I was talking about compound butter, and I was thinking before we started the taping, how can we show people how to use other ways to use compound butter, because you're making a pound of it,
Right.
and you already had something planned, so
I
we're going to
did.
try to do some pasta with your pound of compound butter that you may have lurking in the back of your freezer. So again, welcome, Chef.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving up your time.
Absolutely.
And coming here and going to show me how to open some clams.
Absolutely.
And hopefully I won't cut my hand off, but we'll see. Other, crazier things have happened.
True.
So let's get started.
All right.
Clams Casino.
All
and
right,
you're
let's-
going to get the butter going.
Yeah, let's start off with the
All right.
casino
Okay.
butter.
Okie dokie.
So I'll need the garlic and the shallots.
Shallots and garlic. How many? All of them?
Yep.
Okay.
Very good.
There you go.
All right, we'll start here. And obviously the casino butter, the star of the show on the casino butter is the garlic. And one way that I like to do the garlic cloves is just kind of give it a little tap and just break that up so that skin comes right off.
Okay.
So.
And
Also that little knot sometimes is a little thicker than I like it.
okay. What if there's green in it? What if there's a, that green, what is it, the sort of the root?
Yeah.
Or, is that okay? A lot of people say take it out, but
I mean, like sometimes it falls out on its own, right?
Okay.
It comes out as, you
Yeah.
know, it looks like it's getting ready to grow.
Yep.
So take your pick. You know, leave it in there one time, take
Okay.
it out.
All right, see if
and
it
then
makes a
you
difference to you.
decide.
Okay.
You decide whether or not you it makes a difference to you,
Okay.
and if it doesn't, leave it in. If it falls out, no problem.
Okay.
I never find a problem with things like that. So.
Here's the question that I always get asked when I'm teaching at Highfield, and that is salted or unsalted butter.
So
What do you think?
me personally, it's on the preparation.
Okay.
And if you're using salted butter, think about that. Like, you know,
Go a little
cut
less
back
salt.
on your salt.
Okay.
But I think with salted butter, sometimes it actually brings out the flavor a little bit better than the way that.
Put your trash right in here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That it does, you know, just by salting it, because then you know you can kind of skip that part.
Certainly for baking, I try to use
Absolutely.
the unsalted.
Absolutely.
But for cooking, I find that, and every butter also is significantly different in terms of the salting. We have good Cabot butter here, good New England butter.
So all of this is going to go into the food processor, so I don't need to go completely crazy with it, but I do
Okay.
like to break it up just a little bit.
Okay.
So also, just thinking down the road, I might use a little bit of this shallot
In the next dish, okay.
in the next
All right.
dish. So
So let's put some aside.
sure.
I think that this way of cooking, making sure that you have everything that you need so that you don't have to turn off the stove and go running to the store or call somebody in a panic, is traditionally called mise en place.
Right.
I think is probably the best thing for home cooks to learn. It really does make a difference to have everything out. Not only does it look nice, but you also can be sure, like I said, that you have everything
True.
in place. So, all right, we ready?
Next, I'll take the red pepper.
Yeah. We using a
So-
whole pepper?
No, we're just going to use about,
A third of it?
not even.
Okay.
So, and don't forget, this is cooking, not baking, so
It's
it
forgiving.
doesn't, it is forgiving. It doesn't have to be completely measured. You know, like my wife, she thinks she has to measure every recipe cooking, and then I come in and she goes, "That's not what the recipe says." Relax, relax. It's gonna be okay. You know, we're cooking, we're not baking. If we're baking, then that might be something different, but. Okay, this little piece right here, sometimes is a little bitter for me, so I just usually cut that out.
Okay. Great.
And a little bit of that parsley.
And then lemon. Does the lemon get added at the very end?
Yep.
Okay. Is that enough?
Sure.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to do it. I like that.
And so what I'm also going to do is, because we're not at the restaurant, and me and you are the dishwashers tonight,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to try and make everything in one pot as much as possible.
So we're
If-
going to do everything in the processor instead of doing stuff in a bowl.
Right, so usually people might buzz their products and then grab a bowl, put their softened butter in and mix it that way. We're just gonna do it all right in here. That way, when we're doing dishes, we get
Yep.
rid of,
Okay. It's a plan.
That's
I
right.
like that plan.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for thinking ahead. And we put our shallots aside for later.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I think I'm gonna steal a little bit more.
Okay.
A little more parsley, just because we color. And like talking about with cooking, you know, sometimes if I'm at home, I don't have a red pepper, you have a yellow pepper, you have a green pepper, that's all fine. You can put red, yellow, and green in, still fine. You're not breaking any rules,
Okay.
still legal.
You could probably even do clams casino without peppers.
Absolutely. You don't like peppers? Don't put them in.
Okay.
You don't like, this is part of it, so.
And you could make it spicier if you wanted by adding some.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
How many
here's
pounds of butter do you go through a week? Do you think?
I go
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah.
We we love butter, so.
Don't we all? Thank you, Julia
Yes,
Child.
absolutely.
Yep.
So I will take the lemon.
Rolling it to get some
That's right.
of the juice.
Absolutely.
And your strainer?
I have a little strainer there.
There we go.
So this little recipe I made just for the home cook. It's not the restaurant recipe, obviously.
So you broke it down for us.
I did break it down so you could make it for yourself.
And these recipes will be on the screen when this is finished being edited. And they'll also be, I believe, on our website, the FCTV website, so that people can get them either way, in case you
So
missed something.
speaking of the heat,
Uh-huh.
we'll take a little bit of the hot sauce.
All right. Want some of my fancy black pepper?
Absolutely.
You want Worcestershire
And I
too?
think they said, what'd they say, three
What did you say
drops?
in your recipe?
3 drops
Three
on the
drops of
recipe. Yeah.
Tabasco.
So I just put 6 in there just to,
Okay.
and you kind of just feel it. The Worcestershire, it just adds that little extra body, that boldness, that it's very subtle. You don't taste it, but you would taste it if it wasn't in there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it just gives it that little...
up. That umami that they talk about.
Yeah.
I
And
need-
that's what we love.
I
is
need you
just
to do
bump,
this.
bump those up a little bit, so.
Okay, so we have a pound of softened butter, a couple cloves of garlic, a fairly large shallot, and those were all coarse chopped. We've got some red bell pepper, parsley, a little bit of white wine. I love the way you measure. That's a great way to measure. Lemon juice, hot sauce Worcestershire, and salt and pepper to taste.
Yes.
And we have our salt and pepper. I don't know where they went. Here's my.
I have some. You have your famous...
I have my fancy.
Look at this.
Isn't that cool?
Wow.
I know. We got this from Eastman's. They furnished the kitchen with most of the stuff. Is that enough?
Perfect. That's perfect.
I know. I love
And I'm going to
this.
give it just a little more salt, because that is salted butter that we are using.
Okay. Oh, a little more, maybe.
There you go.
Oh,
Perfect. I like it.
I'm like a mad
I do.
scientist.
I like it. I like it.
And we're going to want a big spoon to push that
Yes,
down. right?
absolutely. Either that or
How's that?
Perfect.
And that butter's been out for about an hour.
Yeah, it's softened, room temp,
Okay.
so it should move around for us.
And that's going to get all combined. And
Hopefully.
it will.
There we go.
This is where we like our live television.
That's
don't we?
right. That's right. All right, one more should do it.
There it is. When people ask me, either when I'm teaching at Highfield or if they know me because I've been writing, people say, what's the most important skill you need to develop as a cook? I always have one answer for them, and this makes me think of it, which is patience. And I think that a lot of us just want it to happen right away, and we just give up on it. You know,
True.
we just walk away from it and say, I'm never making those clams casino again because the butter didn't work.
Well.
But we're developing our patience, and it's coming together like it should. Do you have one particular skill that you would say that? You think knife skills are most important?
I'm
You
going to
think,
go
or
with
patience?
I'm going to go with knife, but patience is unbelievably important.
Especially when you're running a kitchen.
Absolutely. So I mean, there's so many things that you can't rush. in the kitchen to make things the right way. So, you know, you're never going to quickly braise a lamb shank.
That's right.
You know, low and slow.
Unless you have an Instant Pot.
Walk away. Then just walk away.
Yeah.
So,
And we were talking earlier about, I think I mentioned it, that we're going to have this beautiful compound butter that's nicely colored, nicely flavored, and we've got a lot of it. So what else are we going to use it for? And we'll figure that out later on. We're certainly going to use it in the Clams Casino.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, this is so versatile that it just goes on and on. So I don't know
This is
if you can
tricky.
get a good shot
Here, we want this to be
up here.
Oh, what a nice light processor. Thank you. Okay, this is an important technique here.
Okay, so you just gonna pat it down. And then twist the ends, and that'll tighten everything up for you.
Okay. And that's it. And that can be refrigerated or frozen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we'll throw it in the ice box just to firm it up right now.
Show us what you already have in there. Show us the other one that you, please. Yes. So this is what it's going to look like when it's... There we go. Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. So there we have our compound butter. That's a lot of butter. Good.
So-
On steaks, on chicken, on fish, on vegetables.
Absolutely.
As a basis for a sauce, you're going to show us how to make a beurre
Potatoes.
Blanc and potatoes, just a pasta.
Yep.
Lots
Yep.
and lots and lots of uses.
Yeah, it goes, you can always go back into the freezer, pull
And
it
slice-
out,
and
take a
slice.
little piece
Yep.
off, take 2 pieces off, put it on a piece of fish right at the end before it comes out of the oven. Boom, a little striped bass with a little casino butter.
Okay.
Happy days.
All right. Nice to know.
Okay, now we will,
What are we doing? Oh, now we
will-
got the...
we will start on the fun
Test.
stuff.
I
So,
am not a clam opener, so I'm going to try to learn how to do this.
all right, so you see the shape of the clam. I don't know if the camera can see this,
I'm
but
sure they
this is the side that we're looking for to open.
So we
and-
want like the hinge on our left if
Right.
we're right-handed.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be the opposite?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
And you
it's
just slide
always
that
on
knife.
it's always on that end.
Okay.
And nice and gentle. Just be
Okay.
nice and gentle with it. And it should open up no problem. But there are those certain clams, you know, clams are like people. There's some difficult ones out
Okay.
there. And hopefully we get one so that I can show you what we're going to do.
Okay. So it goes right in that.
Right in that.
Now, a lot of people have said to me, throw them in the freezer for half an hour.
Okay.
And then they sort of like open a little bit, and then it's easier to get the knife in. But you've got
Okay.
a brand new knife here, so.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to try this. Oops. So I'm going to hold it like this. I feel like I need to bless myself before I do this.
All right.
So we're keeping that gorgeous liquor.
Absolutely.
The clam liquor,
Yeah,
and we're
that's
just
the
arranging those, and then
that's
we're going to
great
put
flavor
on.
right there.
All right. Wait, don't leave
Okay,
me here.
nope,
Don't
nope, I
leave me
won't.
here alone with my knife and everything. So I do it like this.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's the side that you
Oh,
want.
okay.
That's the
Oh, I
lip.
had him upside down.
Yep,
All
so
right,
hold
just
it
like
like that.
that. And then I take this and I go in like right about here.
Yep,
We getting this on camera? Oh, look.
nice and gentle, nice and gentle. Nice and gentle.
He's not opening for me. Oh, I'm getting a lot of clam. I think I'm going to need the chef to do this.
Okay,
I think I need practice. If only I'd known, I would have practiced all night. Sorry.
so sometimes when they're difficult,
Sometimes they're difficult.
right on the back hinge,
Oh,
and just wiggle your knife.
okay. There. Boy, how many of these have you done in your life? A
Couple.
gazillion? A couple. Is this something you learned early on in the chart room?
That's one of them.
Really?
Yeah. Oops.
So you were at the chart room, and then after that, you moved on to the quarterdeck, or was it?
No, I actually, I kind of bounced around a little bit. I was in Nantucket for a summer. I was out in Colorado for a couple summers. Then I came back to the chart room, I think in the 1990. So I think I left there in 86, came back in 90, and then I was there from 90 until 02.
02, when you
Yeah.
did the, okay.
And then I went to the quarterdeck full-time from there, and I guess I got the restaurant bug,
I
the
guess
fever.
you did. I guess you did, to open the Pilot House. The other thing is you have a family. You are a dynasty.
True.
The Jarvises are well known in Falmouth for the chart room
Yep.
and other endeavors. What else?
No, I mean, both my parents were in the restaurant business. My father worked at, and my mother both worked at the Papaneset Inn.
Hildreth Coppage days?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And he worked at the Coonamessett Inn in the 50s, and
Well, notice I'm not doing the clams anymore. I'm letting the expert do it.
well, there's a
I'll
tough one.
practice.
There's a tough
There's
one.
A tough one. We got some tough cookies
That's all
here.
right.
Tough
That's
clams.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right, so what are we going to do next?
Okay.
Do we do lemon or just the breadcrumbs?
So I will take the breadcrumbs. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to
What?
take some. I'm going to take my bacon.
Okay. Oh, here's the other one that we opened earlier. That's the bad guy, right?
That's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I am going to go to. I'm going to put this here.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab my casino butter.
And they don't need any pepper because I've already done that, but I'm so tempted. I won't. Breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Okay. When I'm shopping a lot, I see all these big bags of breadcrumbs now by the seafood departments
Right.
in a lot of the stores, and certainly in our fish stores we have them also. But you make your own breadcrumbs?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you do that?
So, you know, it depends on the time of the year. If we have ends of breads, those get toasted off and put through the grinder.
Go over there. Okay. Yep. And so they get ground.
Right. And then we season them ourselves.
Okay. Paprika looks like paprika. you said
Paprika,
garlic.
garlic, onion, thyme, and parsley.
Okay. Anything of or any of those herbs and the garlic fresh, or are they the granulated, the already
Yep, all
already
granulated.
dried?
Yep,
okay.
absolutely.
Because this is just going to sit and doesn't need to be refrigerated,
Right.
so we don't have to worry about it doing anything in terms of making people sick.
True.
Right. Okay.
And that's it.
And they're going to go in a 425 oven for 10 minutes, 5
Yes.
minutes? 10 minutes.
And if you like your bacon crispy, or, you're looking at them and you're like, wow, that doesn't seem like that's right, you can always throw it on broil real
Okay.
quick, stay with it, watch it,
Okay.
and crisp up that bacon that way. We obviously at the restaurant are running out of a 550-degree oven, so it's not like the home chef, but
Our directions here say to broil
Right.
for about 7 minutes, but I absolutely, depending on how close you are also to your broiler.
true.
you
So
want to, make sure.
we can.
Make sure that it doesn't burn. So I have a family recipe for clams casino that I think is just sort of adapted over the years, but it's made with a packaged stuffing.
Okay.
And I think what I would do with that, because my family is pretty much wedded to that particular
Absolutely.
that particular flavor of this packaged stuffing, and regular readers of my food column will know what I'm talking about because I'm always complaining about it. Just run that through the processor and then add the stuff that you suggested adding, and we'll be all set.
Perfect.
All right. So we want about 5 minutes on that just to check them.
Yep.
So
5 to
someone
7
could
at
do 5 to
least,
7.
and
All right.
we'll keep an eye on that. And,
Okay.
And when they're
Just want to taste
ready to go, then.
Good, Gail. That was good. This is good. I like this. I'm going to get your instructions for that.
Okay, no problem.
I really do like that.
So it's perfect for fish. It
All
works.
seafoods,
Yeah.
casseroles.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the casseroles that we always see on Cape Cod
Yes.
with the Ritz crackers.
Yes.
I think that's better than the Ritz crackers.
Well, I mean, some people swear by the Ritz cracker, and I'm not going to argue. That's everybody's preference. It's just the way that we always did it, and we stay true. So.
Okay. And we have the casino butter recipe that will be on the screen shortly, and also then the clams casino. And we're going to move on to our next recipe.
Perfect.
Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Which is from the Pilot House, the Haddock Chowder.
Sure.
All right. Fresh thyme in that. We have more butter, an onion, some Yukon Gold potatoes, a bay leaf, fresh thyme, and fish broth. What it says on our recipes is that we don't need no need to buy fish broth. We're going to learn how to make our own here.
So for this small recipe, it's serving 6 people. You're going to get enough flavor off of the fish. If we're making batches at the restaurant, and we have fish stock on hand. So that's the benefit of being a restaurant, right?
That's why things, when you get your restaurant recipes and you go ahead and you make them at home and you say, something's missing from that, there you have it. But I think that most professional chefs that I've met over my almost 40 years of writing about food here in Falmouth are very willing to give up their secrets. I haven't really gotten a lot of people who've said, oh, wait, I can't possibly tell you what's in that. So thank you for
no
showing us all of
problem.
this stuff.
So a little trick of the trade, always put either a wet towel down or something underneath your cutting board. Helps it from sliding around and making mistakes. So
that's the piece of paper I just picked up and
yes.
threw.
But it was a good teaching moment, by the way.
There you go. This is a chef who can make lemonade out of lemon. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
so
let's go.
We're doing onions now.
Okay. Let's go into our.
Onions and potatoes, bay leaf, thyme. There's a lot of preparation that goes into just a little bit of a cooking demo like we're doing here. I mean, you and I had to meet in advance and talk about what we were going to do. We had to get the recipes ready. You had to schlep all this stuff over here, and I really do appreciate you giving up your time.
No problem. All right, the onion.
The onion, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay. No tears.
No tears.
Okay.
Do I have any tricks that really work? No.
No. I mean, Martha Stewart says do it near a gas flame.
Do it with with garlic out. This, that, and the other thing.
Contact lenses? Sometimes
the only thing that I
lenses
can
help.
tell you is a quick secret.
Okay.
And so when I dice an onion, I don't go all the way through. So I stop.
Okay, so you're leaving like maybe about a half an inch up here?
Yeah, maybe
All right.
a quarter,
Okay.
what have you.
Okay, and you've got a nice sharp knife, of
And
course.
see these
Like petals on
and then I do
flowers.
one straight through.
Okay.
Same thing, 3/4
Okay.
of the way through.
All right.
And now when I go down,
Yep. There you got all the
it's all
pieces.
diced,
Okay.
right? It's all diced for us. So then we can go.
It sounds wonderful. And then getting all those end pieces a little bit. So are we going to melt our butter in this?
We're going to melt our butter right in there. So if you want to put that on a
On a low?
low to medium
Okay.
right now until I can catch up.
Power. Oh. Did we turn this on before we started taping? No, so. Help me, chef,
Okay.
please. This is going to be the blind leading the blind. We're just learning.
The good old
Both of us-
induction.
both of us are just learning
the good
induction.
new induction.
Yeah.
Yes, let's not call it
These are
old.
throwouts.
Yeah.
All right, so we have this burner is on medium, and you're finishing up the onions,
Okay.
and we're going to get a stick of butter
Perfect.
to go into.
So if you want to add the butter
Okay.
to the pan, that would be perfect.
Both of these?
Sure.
Okay. So this is going to melt, saute the onions.
Right?
And once they're tender, then we add the potatoes, correct?
Correct.
All right.
So getting back to the patience. Never rush on this recipe, or if you're making clam chowder, unbelievably important to have patience, because you don't want to rush your onions. You want your onions to be translucent. No crunch in your onions at all. So when you are melting your butter, and what's better than butter and onions? I don't know.
The smell is just wonderful. So be patient.
Be patient.
Let them cook.
And taste the product as you're going through it. So.
Okay.
Um,
I'm going to get us a spoon, too. Oh, check how they doing?
We're getting there. We're getting close.
They're bubbling. I'll take them out for you.
Thank you.
I think I'll use this one here. All right, these look absolutely gorgeous. So this bacon was par-cooked. It was already pre-cooked a little bit, wasn't it?
A little bit.
A tiny bit?
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, there. Oh, the smell is just wonderful. I wish you could smell this. This is just terrific. How can we get television to get smell on it?
Smell-o-vision, they call it.
Smell-o-vision,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, huh?
I've heard about that.
All right, our butter's melting. And those are ready to go. Those are ready to be served. Oh, just beautiful. And look at that.
Yeah, a little
cute
color,
Okay,
and-
absolutely gorgeous.
and there you have
Thank
it,
you.
so-
Oh, looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And all this great sauce down in there.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna leave this right here for now. And we'll take a little taste after it cools off. some.
Absolutely. So if you want to bump that up to,
Yep.
let's go to 6 with
Okay.
it.
I had it at 7, but you started to talk
I
about
was-
patience.
yeah, I was-
And then I figured I better put it back down to 5.
Yeah, okay. So here we go. We
All
add
right.
our onions.
Okay. That's a fair amount of onions. How many pounds of fish are we going to use?
We're going to
1, 2?
use 1.5 pounds
Okay.
of haddock.
Because that's like a good 2 cups of.
Yeah, but when these cook down,
okay.
it's really going to.
I don't know
And
if I need
this will
any
be
water.
a gluten-free dish. We will not tighten this up.
Okay, with
at
a
all.
roux of any sort?
Right,
Okay.
right.
Or cornstarch or anything like that?
So now, once again, perfect time as you get your onions going here.
Potatoes?
I'll take just. I'll give these a little season.
Oh, wait, it's my turn here, right?
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah. Look it, but it's...
The batteries...
No, it's brand new.
Oh, all right.
But, oh well. We got some pepper in there anyway. What can I say?
All right, give me a little more.
A little more.
We're learning our induction,
Oh, heat.
Yeah.
I thought you meant pepper.
There we go.
7.5?
Perfect, yeah.
Okay.
We're learning our induction
Our induction, how to.
temperatures.
Induction 101, this
our
is.
temperatures.
Yeah,
So
you just
this
got
is-
one at home, right?
I
Because you don't
did.
have gas on your street, so you have
I just got
an
one.
induction cooktop. I do too, and I'm loving it because it just brings water to a boil so quickly.
That's the one thing that
Yeah.
I can't complain. This
Yeah.
is the one thing that I can complain
Okay.
about. I haven't learned what number is the right number and how to.
And if it were a flame, you would know. You would be
Right,
able to look
right.
at it right away and say.
So with the potatoes, these are Yukon Golds. You can use chef potatoes. You can use russets. You can use red bliss. It's really personal preference. You can peel. You can not peel. It really doesn't matter. A potato like this, me personally, I don't peel
Just
these,
washed, well washed,
but
yep.
well washed, and you know, like I said, it's personal preference. If you like them, peel away. At the restaurant, we peel because
Really?
because our customers want us to peel. So we
Okay.
could peel if
We're
you.
not peelers.
All right, you like it?
I like it with
I
the skin.
actually like it.
The skin is better for you. It's as long as it's washed, I think it's fine.
Perfect.
Fiber and all that good stuff.
I'm with you.
And I like the red too because red adds color to the finished dish.
Absolutely.
But I can see in a restaurant people expect it a certain way.
True.
So
Let me grab my little plate again.
okay. Again, we have a great smell coming up here. Nothing like sautéing onions in butter. Absolutely nothing like it. Sometimes if I've had a bad day and I'm just gonna like cook like nothing but pasta for dinner or something really simple, I'll just go home and chop an onion
Perfect.
and then just saute it because I just love the way it smells.
Absolutely.
It sort of makes you all ready for cooking.
Food of life.
Food of life.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, it's beautiful. So do we want these to change color?
Yes, we want them to get translucent, no
Okay.
crunch, because the crunch leaves a little bit of that onion flavor, or a lot of bit of that onion
Oh,
flavor.
okay.
So when the onions are
Good.
still crunchy, you get that burn of the onion. When the onions are translucent and really cooked well and cooked down, and you can completely see the difference. They're starting to turn here. I don't know if the camera can see these, but
Yep, there they
from where they started to where they are right now, we're making progress. So now is a perfect time after we get the
Potatoes.
potatoes completely diced to have a glass of wine. Just a little sip, because that way you're not in a rush to do anything. You're having a little taste, everything's good.
Getting you a glass.
That's right. I knew that would work.
Did. It did. I could find the glasses. Oh, here. Why not?
Yep.
Dry white wine, right, for this?
Perfect. Oh, they're starting to move now. Look at this.
Here you go, sir.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. This is very fancy.
Delicious.
We are some fancy cooks,
That's
aren't we?
perfect. That is perfect.
If that,
So-
that'll give you patience, if
That's
nothing
right.
else.
That's right. We're not in a rush. We're not in a rush at all. Look at
So it's
that.
looking to me like equal parts onion and potatoes. But this is going to cook down, you said.
Absolutely.
So then it's
Absolutely.
like
I mean, it's already cooked down by half now, and we're halfway there on the onions. So
well,
so once again, I'm doing my one pot maneuver.
good. So we don't have to wash.
You know, if we were going for more stewy end of things, you know, we could cut the potatoes bigger, leave the fish chunkier. You know, you could always add a little something. This is your classic traditional haddock chowder, the way that I was brought up on how haddock chowder is supposed to be. Very simple. Butter, onions, potato, haddock, your fish stock, little bit of thyme,
A little bit
bay
of
leaf,
aromatics, yep.
finish that off, touch of cream at the end, done. And that's the whole soup. I mean, it really is simplicity at its best.
Good.
And all right, so now we're getting to that point in time. Still has a little bit of crunch to it, so it
Okay.
needs just a couple more minutes. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna prep the thyme. I've got a little bit of time.
You have a little bit of time
I
to
got a little
prep your
time on my hands, so and take care of the
You
thyme.
got time in your hands and on your hands.
So just have some fresh thyme here, and I'm just gonna peel it right off.
Now, my lazy way of doing it at home, because this is one of my
I mean, it's
wonderful.
just
Yeah, that's really nice. Is to throw the whole thing in and then fish out the stalks at
Right.
the end.
Yep, and that's
But are you
fine.
going to chop yours to give it a little more aroma?
bit.
Whoops.
A little bit. I am.
Okay. All right. My least favorite thing to do is to do the thyme. Don't ask me why, but it is. I can chop onions till the cows come home, as they say, but pulling those leaves off the thyme, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, while the onions cook, I've got nothing but thyme.
Yep. And bay leaf.
True. Have bay leaf.
And if you don't have fresh,
You can use dried.
we can use
Absolutely.
dried. Okay.
Absolutely.
So this recipe actually calls for a tablespoon of fresh thyme, so
Yep.
we would use a teaspoon of dried?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
And not
absolutely.
ground thyme, but just the thyme
Leaves,
leaf that
yes.
you can.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Dried herbs always have a
More strength.
yes. Yep.
This is looking pretty good to me now.
Good.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
All right, let's add
In go
our
the potatoes.
Add our potatoes,
Stir.
please. So we're starting to layer flavors here, slowly but surely, layering the flavors.
Anything that sort of gets stuck on the bottom, you're scooping up.
I'm moving everything around so it doesn't get.
Okay.
And now, once again, I'm just gonna, just a little bit.
I'm going to bring over the other pepper.
There you go.
This was ground from our grinder on a good day when it wasn't giving us trouble. Couple pinches, okay?
Yes,
All right.
perfect.
Okay, this is on 8. Do you want it on so high? Sticking a little bit? Want it a
Yep.
little lower?
Nope,
Nope. Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Bay leaf and all here.
Now I'm going to go to, where'd my,
I hope the cameras can get this.
so my thyme is in.
Smell is terrific. Okay. And here we have our haddock. Other fish we can use, a firm white fish of some
Cod.
sort. Cod. Haddock.
Pollock.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Any of those works unbelievably well.
Pollock is, we're seeing a lot more of pollock now.
Absolutely.
I think it's haddock and cod are being overfished. What do you need?
Yes, I was looking for,
What?
I had a little cup, but I'm just going
Yeah,
to
it's here.
use this one.
This thing, is that what you,
Yeah,
what is that?
this is just a little bit.
The secret ingredient. And we're going to add water to this, yes?
Yes.
I'm not stirring the fish. So we had a little bit of a base there.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're just going to cover the fish?
Just going to cover the fish.
All right. And put the top back on.
Put the
You could
top
do this
back
in the
on.
oven too, couldn't you, in a 350 oven?
Absolutely.
It's called oven chowder.
I don't know if we've learned how to do it in the quick pot. What is it?
Instant pot.
Instant pot.
Oh, I'm sure we have. There's so many Instant Pot cookbooks out there. The Instant Pot is the darling of the food world right now. So this is, if you can see this, it's probably just about a half an inch over the potatoes and onions and barely covering the fish. So
Right.
there's still some of the fish exposed. We're going to bring that to a simmer.
Yes.
And if we could find the top.
Okay. Oh, I
Here's-
moved it.
Okay. All right. And quite often, this is a very touchy little stove here. Power. I need to remember to leave my finger on it. I
That's
think
right.
that's what the key
That's
is.
the key, I think.
All right. High, no. What do we want it at?
Let's do 8.
Oop.
There we go. 7.5.
7.5? Okay.
Because I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up to a boil.
Yep.
Then I want to lower it to a simmer.
All right. I just did it at
Give it
8.
its
10 minutes? Potatoes and fish?
Yeah. And so we make up these numbers, 10 minutes, but you always check. And you check your fish for opaqueness. You make sure it's cooked all the way through. Certain fish are bigger than other fish, so they might be thicker. So that thicker one is obviously going to take a little bit more time than the other one. So once again, we're having patience.
And we're eating. And we're drinking wine.
So we're back to our patience.
We're back to patience.
How's the casino?
Good.
Very good.
That butter is fabulous.
Very nice. Very
I'm gonna
nice.
Keep that butter in there, in that freezer.
So speaking of that,
Yes. What should we're going to let this cook. Do you
Yeah.
want to maybe do the compound butter now, and we'll do the Arrabiata.
Arrabiata.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah, we'll leave that. Ooh, that is good.
yeah, let's just let me think of something here.
We're going to use a skillet, and we're going to melt some butter.
Sure.
Okay. You want the really heavy one or the other one?
Let's
You're going to be tossing,
use-
so we could have a duel.
Yeah. I'm gonna use this one right off the bat.
All
Now,
right.
do we have a burner here? that
I hope
could-
so. I certainly hope so. Right there.
Okay.
So power is on, and now we want to tell this to there. Nope. It would be, wouldn't it be this one?
Yes. Or is there one over here?
Oh,
There we go.
we're learning.
Like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, almost. Okay, so that's on, and we want it on high? do you
Let's
wanna-
go a little lower.
Okay.
Perfect.
So cooking
Very
with
nice.
chef and owner Bob Jarvis, and learning how to do the induction stove.
All at the same
At the
time.
same time. So this is a twofer. This is a twofer show.
So I thought I would sneak an extra one in just because
Extra recipe for
an
us.
extra recipe. It's not on the list. Maybe I can write one up and get it to you.
I'll
and
get
they
it to
can-
you. Yeah, we'll
they
get
can
it on the website and also on the camera.
Okay.
Yep, that's heating right up. It
So
is amazing how
I-
quickly that heats up. It really is.
I just wanted to put something else on here so that when people go, oh, all that butter, I don't need all that butter. I just wanted to show you that there's other uses for it.
And we've already talked about some of them, which is on vegetables, potatoes, pasta. And here we're going to be making just a very basic sauce.
Right?
Okay, so I should get the butter back out for you?
Sure.
Here you go.
Okay.
Gonna want tongs for that?
Yes, please. So I just got some shallots going with a little bit of olive oil. And I brought some friends.
Oh, you sure did. Look at that for a surprise. Great. And scallops too. All right. This is a fancy way to use up your butter. What do you want, about an inch off here?
Yes, please. Actually,
More?
Yep.
More?
Do two just like that
Okay.
size. And that'll be towards the end.
Okay.
So, just so we don't drink it all ourselves, we're going to give this just a little bit of love here. And I wanted to use like some of the ingredients that we already had through the other recipes, just so that we... And I'm going to reduce this this white wine down by half.
Okay, so that's at a high simmer.
That's a high.
Parchment paper, certainly the cook's friend. This is actually...
Here I go again.
Oh, pepper do we need again? You got pepper. I want to wrap up your...
What is this thing?
Oh, you're supposed to be able to just turn it. And if you turn it, that's the grating, whether you want it large or small. So I have it on medium, and we'll give it a try again, huh? We know that it did work before.
Perfect. There it goes.
No, it's not
Oh.
making its noise. It's not singing to us. But those are beautiful. Here. The old pre-grated is...
Right.
Okay. So parchment paper, it's available in sheets, it's available in rolls. I think there was a time when nobody knew what parchment paper was. And I think we all use wax paper a lot. I think that's just the cut. But now it's all over the place. I like the
Precise? Yeah, I like that too.
Okay.
And that's what I used for the compound butter.
Okay. I also like the natural color, but that's just aesthetics. You can get it in any color. But you cannot substitute wax paper, right? For
That's right.
most parchment paper. You could for doing this, though, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
Because you're freezing this, so you could certainly use wax paper for this. But if you were going to be baking on it, you would not want to use wax paper, or whatever you're baking is going to come up looking like a little bit of wax on it.
Also with this recipe, once again, it's a single pot that I'm doing everything in. Starting to get down there a little bit, right where I want it
Let's
to
check
be.
our fish. What's our fish doing? Oh, look at that.
We're getting there. I'm going to move that one down to a simmer over there. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of lemon.
again. Want to add some thyme?
We could use some time. You know what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking about? About a tablespoon?
You want to
Some
some
basil? Sure,
basil?
sure.
Okay.
So to chiffonade, we take this and we roll it up
Yes.
all together with a big leaf on the outside, right?
Right.
Okay.
So now that I've reduced my wine down
Smells great.
a little more than half, now comes the fun part. And we're going to make our Beurre Blanc. So I'll take it off the heat and I'll just slowly start whisking in my cold butter. And on this, we're going to use the casino butter for this.
Okay. And this is what it looks
And
like.
you want to take this off the heat. If it stays on the heat, it'll break. So,
By breaking, you mean separate?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we have our basil, our thyme. We're going to finish with this? Is that what we're going to do?
Yes.
All right. Okay. What is beeping?
I think it's mad at me because I'm not on the
Oh,
surface.
you're not on the surface. Our stoves talk to us, too.
Maybe I'll try to turn it off, but I don't know how to, so. Do you know how to turn that off?
Yep. Right here. There. See that? I just waved my finger right over it. It's not doing it, though.
Oh,
It's just telling you it's a hot
oh,
surface.
it's just a hot surface.
Yep.
Okay.
However,
So there we go.
our So what this did, I think these things think for us. They think, they're like, what is it called? Intuitive? I'm not sure how intuitive we want this to be
Sure.
because it turned off our chowder.
Oh boy.
So we don't want that to happen. So on, power, on,
Oh, I
finger
turned it.
on, yeah, and high. There we go, I can hear it.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. It's a very sensitive top. Is yours that sensitive
No.
at home? No, mine isn't either. It never talks to me like that.
So here we go.
It's probably
As you
saying
can
once in a
see,
while. It's thickening beautifully. Yeah.
it's thickening itself.
And our seafood is pretty much cooked.
It's all cooked.
Yep. And it really cooked in the white wine. And smells wonderful, doesn't it? It looks beautiful. More butter we going to need, or you think that's enough?
I think that's good
Okay.
for where we're at.
All right, so let me wrap this baby up. I took the pasta out.
Oh, you did. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sorry. Here it is, right here.
Perfect.
And I'm going to get you a plate. So you could even wrap these individually if you wanted to. Have them at home, just all wrapped up in a plastic bag if you have enough room in your freezer. I don't know, I never do. Twist these up so you have, what is this? What would you say? This is about 2 tablespoons, right?
Absolutely.
So you know that you have your 2 tablespoons. Just grab one and, throw it on your steak, your chicken, your fish, your protein, your vegetables.
And that's enough to do
It's enough to do a
Another
pasta
one of
dish.
these?
Okay.
another one of these.
This is the hard part. The twirly. And we have a spoon here if you want to spoon some of the sauce over. Isn't that beautiful? So this is cooking at a medium high. Oh, you're going to get fancy
Oh,
on
why
us.
not?
See what happens when you grow up in the chart room?
You
That's
grow up in the
beautiful.
world that we do.
Yeah. But truly, a lot of what we do is eat with our eyes first.
Absolutely.
Is this something that's on the,
No, this is just something I made up
Something you
while I
made up.
was thinking about. While I was thinking about what we were
What
going to
we're
do
gonna do, okay.
over here.
okay. And there we have our garnishes. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Let's move this over.
Okay. Get rid of this guy.
Slide this one right out
There.
here,
Absolutely
like
beautiful.
that. That was the bonus dish right there. Is that all right?
Perfect amount of pepper. Good.
All right.
And nice and seafoody too, because everything opened and sort of gave it its, a little lower.
Yes. And I think we're
5?
we're here. You can
We're here?
go a little lower than that.
Okay. Wow, how
borrow-
quickly that cooked.
Yeah.
And you want some cream? Do we have it in the freezer?
I'm gonna
Refrigerator.
borrow.
I have half and half here. Yes?
So I'm gonna reduce this down just a little more.
So you want it higher?
One more. Go to 4. There you go. Perfect. And we're just gonna let that go. And the fish was almost there. The potatoes they're both gonna finish right at the same exact time. It's actually gonna be perfect, but
So this is, Bob, about a little more than a cup of heavy cream. Is that going to be enough?
Yeah, not yet.
No,
So
I won't yet.
we'll see. You can see that fish right there. It's still not ready.
In the
now,
middle.
this fish is ready, but this one
Okay.
is not. So we're just gonna spread these out a little bit, cover them just a little bit longer.
Okay.
Couple.
About 2 more minutes?
Yep, 2 more minutes.
Okay. So we've got our clams. We've got a beautiful extra bonus dish.
Bonus
And
dish.
we will get that on. We could do that with all shrimp. We could do it with all mussels. We could do it with all scallops. Or I do like the
Chicken.
combination chicken too.
Chicken would-
But I really like the look of the darker of the mussels.
Yeah.
Around.
Yep.
Are
So-
those Prince Edward Island? Is
They
that
are.
right? Okay.
They are. Yeah, so it's just an easy to make with the compound butter that you kept in your ice box,
Yep.
pulling it out. You didn't use it all when you made the casino butter. It's perfect that you pull it out and make a sauce at any point in time. You know, like I said, slice off a piece, finish your fish in the oven. It's about 3 minutes away from being done. You put that little piece of casino butter on top. Perfect. Up, timers. Is that your timer?
No.
Oh.
Is it yours? We didn't set a timer.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So we snuck in the extra dish, and I think
We're still going to go for our
Arrabiata. Arrabiata.
You're good.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll have you do it.
All right. I'm going to do a little quick cleanup over here.
Okay. And then we have our San Marzano dilemma, always, right? San Marzano tomatoes, which is very easy to get fooled that you're paying for San Marzano tomatoes, which have to be DOP certified from Italy, correct?
Yes.
Or you could have San Marzano style tomatoes, which
Right.
means that they are grown, correct me if I'm wrong, Chef, but I think it's that they are the seeds from the San Marzano tomatoes, so they're styled after San Marzano tomatoes. They're like a plum tomato, and they're probably grown in this country or someplace else.
Well, that can, that's something to
Talk to your
to battle about.
Right.
This is what we'll be
Okay.
using
beautiful. Okay.
today.
All right.
But there's a ton of beautiful tomatoes. Me personally, I always like to use a whole tomato and then break it down. So if I want to keep it somewhat chunky, I just think that you get a better flavor from a whole tomato. It's less processed. And you can do what you want. If you want to puree it all the way to a pomodoro where it's just very fine and, you know, silky sauce, into something a little bit more hearty. Now you can go either way. It's personal preference.
Yes.
So there's no, oh, it has to be done this way. That's not true. It's how you like it. So
Okay. And look how nice and easy they make that for us with the tops.
we like that.
We like that. We do like that. Absolutely. All right. So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to need this pan for we can use this for the pasta, yes?
Perfect.
Okay. And now we know how to turn it on. Want me to turn it on yet?
Hopefully.
I know. So everybody says when you get an induction cooktop, you got to throw out all your pans. But if you had really good pans in the beginning that have enough of the metallic, right? Not metallic, magnet. They need to be magnetized somehow
Right.
to be able to use on.
I
on
don't
this
know anything
particular-
about that.
You don't know anything
No.
about that, because all your pans are good because you're a chef, so you already had them all good. Le Creuset, all of the really heavy ones. This is an all-clad. Cuisinart, all of those are usually. But if you're buying for an induction cooktop, make sure that you double-check it with a magnet. Because there's nothing worse than getting new stuff and then finding out that it doesn't work. All right, that's beautiful. And our cream.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So you see how the fish is flaking up. Oh, we just turned
I just did that by mistake. Sorry. This is the most sensitive cooktop I have
So-
ever seen in my life.
So this is the time where, for me, if you were doing the bouquet of the thyme, and like the way
Like I
that you
said,
like
just
to do
throwing it in, yeah.
But also for me, I always like to pull the bay leaf out
Okay.
now.
Okay. Yeah. Mine is the lazy way because like I said, I don't like destemming the thyme leaves. But if you do throw it in together, tie it with a little piece of string, and then you just fish the whole thing out, and you're set. And you've still got all your fresh thyme
Absolutely.
in there. All right. The only difference is that I wouldn't have gotten a chance to sort of bring up the fragrance by chopping it.
For sure.
5.
We can turn that down just a little
Okay.
bit now. We're going to add our cream. Now, once again, if you like it creamy, use heavy. If you like it a step down, light cream. If you like it a little step down from there, half and half, right? You know, once again, it's all personal preference. I use half and half just because I want it to be that brothy fish jump out, and I just want a little bit of that rounded cream with the half and half. So
Okay. You could also, in a pinch, use evaporated milk, yes? Have you done that?
I've never done that.
It's an amazing product. There's an old, I think it can't be that old because I don't know when they started making evaporated milk, but there are recipes for making fish chowder and clam chowder with evaporated milk. I suspect that it had to do with refrigeration and what people needed to do at the time before all this industrialized stuff came along. That is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Perfect.
So as Gail said, Gail likes to go fancy. I'm a little from the old school, but
I didn't grow up in the chart room. Good.
But if we want to give it a little,
That's great.
you know, a little something. You got guests coming over. You just
Okay.
you give it a little sprig, and when it goes down in front of them, that thyme just really busts out. But
Beautiful.
you know, a cold winter night, and you're putting a bowl of haddock chowder in front of 6 friends around the table.
And a loaf of homemade bread. You are all set to go.
You know,
Set to go.
That's there's not much to say about that.
That's
So
just gorgeous.
yeah, it's
Okay.
delicious too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right. So are we going to cook on this burner, or you want to move over to this one?
Yeah. Do I have something that I can?
I think we can move this over here.
Okay, sure. Second in the way of the camera.
I don't think so.
Okay, so
Okay, cameras.
Arrabiata. Moving right along.
Okay.
Also known as the angry sauce. It's angry because hot pepper flakes.
Hot pepper flakes, or are we using this baby?
I like to use the red pepper flakes
Okay.
on this dish.
Why?
You can use fresh chilies if you prefer. I think you can control your heat
Ah, okay.
better by using red pepper flakes. Now, if you have a worked out recipe that you're like, I use 1/8 of a chili, whatever your favorite type of chili is, by all means, you know, go crazy. Once again, it's
Personal
cooking.
preference.
Yes,
Yep,
absolutely. So,
When we were talking before the show started, we were talking about one of the things that you like about or the only thing at this point that as you're getting used to it for your induction cooktop was making pasta. And I said, what kind of pasta do your kids like? And he
Yeah.
said, I have three different pasta kids. right?
yes, absolutely. So they cover all the bases. There's one that will only eat red, just a straight tomato sauce.
Okay.
There's one that will eat everything but loves Alfredo. There's one that will eat everything. Once again, another boy. But he likes some meat sauce. And then there's one that does no sauce, you know, this is the baby, of course. She wants butter and cheese only,
Macaroni and cheese.
and the cheese has to be the perfect amount. If it's too much or too less, it's trouble in paradise. So, yeah. So.
And that would be paradise to have
Yeah.
your dad making
So-
making 4 different pasta dishes.
Yeah, but we're not doing that. Where everybody's eating everything, unfortunately, you get what you get and you don't get upset. And that's the theory. How are we looking on heat
Okay,
there?
I'm
Pretty
on 6
good?
right here.
All right.
Oil?
Yes. So this is a little olive oil that I brought back from Italy. I was just
Okay.
in Italy in October.
Is that how you learned to roll your R's, or did you learn that beforehand?
I think I learned it before. I've been
They must have loved
rolling.
you over
I've been
there.
rolling my R's for a long
Wow,
time.
cool.
So this loves
Smells
olive
good.
oil. This is.
Were you in Tuscany? Where were you?
I was in Tuscany, and this olive oil is unbelievable.
Again.
Like you can smell it,
Yes.
and you just touch.
Here, I'll send
you
you towards the camera.
Yeah, you just toss pasta just in that olive oil.
And it's
Oh.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
We're getting there.
Okay.
If we do 3 more shows,
Yeah.
we'll know this stove.
We will. The
unbelievably
stove will
well.
know us too, believe me.
I'm doing a little dishes over here real quick.
Okay. I'm just shaking this a little bit, okay? Which I probably shouldn't do on an induction cooktop.
All right, so we have olive oil in the pan. And we have 6 cloves of garlic in the pan. And we're going to just move that. Can we turn that down just a little bit?
10 to 5?
So, yes, please. So we don't want to brown our garlic. We don't want to cook our garlic quick. Where's our patience provider? We want to relax.
Have a sip of wine.
Yeah,
Don't
have a
forget
sip
your
of wine, relax. Now,
Did you finish
once
yours
again,
already? You want
I
more?
did. So, once again, personal preference on the red pepper flakes. That's why I suggest red pepper flakes. And what we're doing here...
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is just infusing oil. We're just getting all those flavors all through that olive oil.
Because the recipe does actually call for a, higher? 3?
3 is good.
Okay.
Perfect.
A quarter of a cup of olive oil.
Yeah.
So
Which we'll use some of that towards the end.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So while your onions are just kind of chilling out there,
mince some parsley?
infusing that oil, what I'm going to do is get my tomatoes going here.
And I'll get the pasta out.
Sure.
So this is bucatino's.
This is
something from
bucatino. We do a seafood arrabiata over there, but this is going to be, just a straightforward arrabiata. And then once again, there's no rules. If you want to do chicken with it, perfect. If you want to do sausage and chicken, or straight sausage, hot sausage, sweet sausage, perfect. Chicken sausage, beautiful. If you want to do seafood, you want to do shrimp, you want to do scallops, it's all, once again, we're cooking. There's, just because
the recipe calls
we
for
do it
right.
as a seafood doesn't mean you can't put everything in anything. So that's nicey right there.
Okay. When do we add salt and pepper? When we add the tomatoes?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, look at those
So
beautiful tomatoes.
these are unbelievable tomatoes. Because we're trying to do the one pot thing here, for me, this is one that I got to do an extra dish on, unfortunately.
Oh, because we need to cut up the tomatoes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like to just kind of give them a little bit of...
Mash.
Yeah. So I like some texture to the tomato.
Okay.
So this is all I'm going to do to it.
Okay, that makes sense. Some recipes call for taking scissors and cutting,
Right.
or putting the knife, but it seems to me that to put the knife in the can and sort of do that is not
I've-
the best way to do it. This is good.
I had one chef that I worked under out in Colorado, and he had us do it by hand. We had to do it by hand.
Really?
Yeah, that was his thing. He was nuts, but but that was his thing, and he, felt like it didn't bruise or like ruin the texture of the tomato.
Not as
So
aggressive as mashing, probably.
Right,
yeah.
right. But if you have a hand blender and you want to just give it a quick buzz, that's all. That's all
immersion
legal.
blender.
Yep.
Another
Everything's
cook's
good.
friend.
So, for like I said, for me, I kind of like a little bit of texture to it. So, you can see that the olive oil is still there when we put the tomatoes in. Look at the olive oil around the sides.
I know, it's beautiful. Absolutely. Can you tell we love food? Everything is beautiful and smells wonderful. I know, but it's true. It's great.
I mean,
look at that. That oil is just perfectly infused with that garlic.
And that's just gonna go through
Heat
all
up a
these
little bit?
tomatoes. Yes, please.
We'll bring it to a simmer and then we'll turn it down again.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. And you put in a couple teaspoons, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes.
Yes.
Okay. I think our recipe calls for a quarter of a cup of olive oil, and I'd say we used almost a quarter of a cup. And then you're going to use a little bit more to finish, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So once the garlic and the red pepper flakes are
Well mixed in.
well mixed in,
Okay.
a little salt, pep. You want to try your gun again?
No,
All
I'm
right.
mad at it. Trudeau.
And this sauce is Italian to the core. I feel like, you know, this isn't your Sunday gravy that's gonna cook for
8 hours.
8 hours and
With
all
pork
day
ribs and
all of that.
sausages and-
This is perfect. This is simple. This is easy. This is flavorful. This is versatile. It's just an easy sauce to work with,
Okay.
and delicious on top of that.
You're going to do chiffonade again?
I am.
Okay. Your basil's nice. All right, I'm just turning it down a little
Perfect.
bit.
Yep.
So
Thank
that
you.
it's just a little bit of a simmer. And we're going to put the pasta right in this and let the pasta cook in the sauce.
Absolutely. So one thing we did because of burner space, I pre-cooked some
Some pasta.
penne,
Okay.
and you can use any kind of pasta that
whatever
you
you
like
have.
on this one.
Do you serve gluten-free pasta at
Yes.
Bucatini's?
Yep. All three.
Bucatino's.
Yep.
Bucatino's, right?
Tino.
And that's
Masculine.
on Route 151.
151 and 28A.
Mm-hmm.
The old Cooney
tree.
Corners, the old Wicker Tree, the old Willow Field, the old. Is it
Willow,
Julian's Beach House,
Oh, my
and now
goodness.
Bucatino. So from the 50s all the way till now. And I will have to say that we're unbelievably proud here in Falmouth, which my number one and my baby of all the restaurants is the Quarterdeck, and we're unbelievably proud to only be the third owner there. Chet Wright, Rob and Rita Pacheco, and then
Jarvis.
us. So the Quarterdeck has so much history in Falmouth. It's
how
an
old is
honor.
it? How old is it? What do you think?
Well, before it was the Quarterdeck, it was the Little New Yorker. So I think that goes back to
Really?
the 50s also.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit deeper than that. But the Quarterdeck was named the Quarterdeck in early 60s. I don't exactly know the date. Do you, Rita?
Don't know.
So we will add
Our basil.
our basil,
Parsley.
and we'll give it a little parsley and those freshy herbs.
And pecorino romano is for serving, correct? Or do we add some?
We're
when
going to
it's-
add a little right
okay.
now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
How often do you get your knives sharpened at the,
Once a week,
once a week?
Yep.
And that does it, huh?
and that does.
Okay. So that's about a good third of a cup of grated pecorino. You could use Parmesan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a pecorino guy.
Yeah,
so
I am too. Pecorino
I
girl.
mean, I love Reggiano for certain things, but this, I feel like the sharpness comes through. Look at that.
That's
Is that
beautiful.
unbelievable?
Yeah. Just great.
That is unbelievable.
I'm going to put this over here
Okay.
because I want to just heat this up for some of our audience for
Absolutely.
later. So,
And I'm just going to add a little bit of our cooked penne here. Give this a little toss. This is obviously family style. This isn't one.
it's beautiful. It's great. And you could serve this with just a salad. You could certainly just throw some fish on the grill and serve it as a side, or put the fish on top of it.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you could even do some of your compound butter on top if you wanted to.
Or
On
you
the
know,
protein.
what's better than a little bit of grilled Italian bread and a little bit of that casino butter? Now you have garlic butter and 2 big chunks of that on some Portuguese bread or some Italian bread. And
You're making everybody hungry.
that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. We're open 7 days a week, by the way. Yeah.
And tell me about the Pilot House. When does that open?
So we're going to open in April.
Okay. Soon.
Yeah, very soon. So we've already started. Working over there and getting her ready. So, you know, you blink and it'll be 4th of July.
I know.
And then you blink again and it's Labor Day. So,
This looks just great. Whoa. I just got the angry part.
oh, nice.
I'm going to break into a sweat.
And I held back a little bit. All right.
Those tomatoes really do make a difference. Time for wine.
Delicious.
All right. So I think we are probably just about winding down.
Perfect.
Anything else that, I'm trying to think if there's anything more that I want people to know about you and your restaurants, other than just go and enjoy. And say you saw this done on FCTV.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. That's beautiful. All right. So another ending to another Cooking in Falmouth. And thank you for watching. And we'll be back next month with another chef. And I thank you, sir, for giving up your time and your ingredients.
No problem.
And you have just done a wonderful, wonderful job. Look at this. All right. How is that? Gorgeous. Just
Very
gorgeous.
nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cooking in Falmouth is made possible in part by the following. Appliances donated by Crane Appliance. Kitchen installation donated by M. Duffney Builders. Specialty Studio Electric and Gallery installation donated by David Rogers Electric. Kitchenware donated by Eastman's Hardware.